Welcome to the Top 25 today. I am your host, Carrie Roberts, and today's interview is part of our Top 25 list of voice technology companies that can help your business scale. And I have with me today one of those companies, Speak2, and joining me is the CEO of Speak2, Matt Smith. Welcome, Matt.
Hey, Carrie, how are you?
Good. So excited you're here. I'd love for you to share with us a little bit about Speak2. You've been in technology for a long time. Where did this idea come from and what is it all about?
So Speak2 came about. I was a consultant doing a lot with healthcare and software. And one thing we found was that the biggest problem that we had with patients was their ability to actually engage with the solutions that people were building. And a lot of times it was just because they couldn't use a screen. They would have an app or an iPad or whatever it might be, and tapping and swiping and engaging with an app was really difficult. At the same time, I was working a lot with seniors, and I had aging parents of my own. And with the emergence of smart speakers, and specifically we worked with Amazon with their Alexa, we started to just see that we could overcome some of the barriers that we had with patients, and especially with aging patients, to help them be able to better engage with people by using a smart speaker. So about 2 years ago, we founded Speak2, and it's been great ever since. We're getting engaged with lots of seniors and trying to help them engage with their community and caregivers.
That's wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit more about the type of businesses that you specifically work with at Speak2?
Sure. So we work with senior living, so things like independent living communities, assisted living communities, nursing homes. And we also work with a lot of home care businesses. So people who are providing caregivers in someone's home that might visit a few times a week or might even live there. So our software creates a way for the patient, the senior, to engage with whoever is in their circle of trust, whoever their caregivers are. So it can be a big facility that might have 100 people living in it, or it might be a caregiver who maybe takes care of 5 or 10 people going to their homes every week. And that's who we focus on.
And can you also share with us, because this is our big topic, how you help these businesses scale with voice technology as well?
Yeah, so it's actually a great fit. The engagement part is their biggest issue as well. So if you think about someone who's aging, the more and more technology that grows around them, the more and more isolated they become, right? Most seniors have a flip phone, or they start to struggle more and more with typing on a screen. And these businesses rely on engagement for them to be able to scale, for them to be able to engage with their patients, with their customers, and especially with those customers' families. So for us to be able to connect the people who are providing care to the end user, who is the patient or the senior. They might not necessarily be a patient, but they might just be someone who's aging at home or who's in a senior living community that might need a little extra attention. For us to be able to connect those people to the people who they are paying to take care of them, the more we do that, the more it creates a better service, and it allows them to scale, allows them to show more value to their customer base.
Can you share with us a little bit too about some of your customer success stories, not only allowing them to scale, as you mentioned, but also how it keeps their clients and customers happy?
Yeah, so one of our great success stories is a customer that we had. They've been a customer for about 1.5 years now. And they took our technology and they ran with it. And what they did is created a program called Speak2 Pals. And our app and our technology allows people to send messages and do sort of messaging over in Alexa, along with things like asking for requests or recording activities. Like they might say, I took a walk, or I had a glass of water, or I need help. But what this community did is they reached out to a whole community group of people. They reached out to churches, to schools, to vendors of theirs. And they said, hey, would you volunteer to leave messages and kind of be sort of a pen pal type program for the residents in our community? And they had about 60 residents. They used that also to create energy and a great spirit around their community and their residents, because they knew that their residents had some great stories to tell and some great backgrounds, and they were really interesting people. But again, they were sort of isolated. So they reached out. They're up to about 300 people who signed up for this program, and they're getting about 5 to 10 messages per day. And the residents respond to those messages. And some people are now literally back and forth every day just like regular texting pen pals. It's been an incredible success. We're encouraging more of our clients to do it. More of them are, but this one was really great because they ran with it and they got community groups involved that really cared. And especially during COVID, to be able to connect to people like that in a way that just wouldn't have existed otherwise is just a great success story. And it's a great example of a business using our software to make themselves more valuable in the market.
Yeah, speaking of more valuable, what would you say makes Speak2 unique or different from maybe its other competitors?
Yeah, so I think that probably what we hang our hat on is really simplicity. Voice and having an Alexa is typically something that people do. They ask for music or news, and they don't think of it as a business tool or as something that they can use like the way you would use an app. It's more of just consuming something from an Alexa. We've basically built a way for it to be interactive and to interact with the people that matter. But we did it in a really simple way. We have a very simple app, a really engaging user interface. All of our voice interactions are extremely simple, and we've spent a lot of time getting feedback. In fact, we spent the whole first year of our existence getting feedback on what works, how do people engage with the things that they want, and how do they send messages, and what are the phrases that they use. And we really fine-tuned our skill to be extremely simple to use. And that's the feedback that we're getting is, hey, we looked at this, we tried that, we downloaded this skill, or we had a care package that we used, but yours was the easiest to get people to use, and people just picked up on it right away. So we're really proud of how simple it is to use our software.
And if people want to learn more, they want to connect with you, where is the best place to do that, with a website or on social media?
Well, they can find me on LinkedIn, although Matt Smith is hard to find on LinkedIn. So if you put Matt Smith Speak2, you'll find me. I have a Twitter handle, Matt Speak2. I'm on Facebook as well. And again, hard to find Matt Smith on Speak2. But if you look for Speak2, you'll find that we have a page. You can connect to me there. But you can always email me, matt@speak2software.com. And the 2 is a number. So speak with the number 2software.com. And I'm available. I love talking to people about what we're doing, see where we fit in. I'm really accessible.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for sharing all about Speak2, what makes you unique, and how you're helping businesses scale using voice technology. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie. This was great. Thanks.